I grew up in a middle-class family, and I remember how difficult it was going to school. All the homework, the evil teachers, lugging all those books around. I can't imagine, though, how difficult school must have been for those growing up in poverty. Most of them had no money for supplies, nothing for new clothes for a new term, even no money for lunch from day to day. On top of that, they had nobody at home to help them with all their schoolwork. Maybe your experience was pretty terrible, but it couldn't have been like that. I have taken a special interest in this lately, and so I've done a lot of research on it. And I can tell you with confidence that there is a strong relationship between living in poverty and having a poor educational experience. I intend to show you that children who grow up in poor families have a very low level of achievement in school. And I will show you some statistics showing you proof of the relationship between growing up in poverty and performing poorly in school. As we all know, it's money that rules all. The ability to perform well in school hinges on the ability of the parents to contribute to their child. Children growing up in poverty grow up in a situation in which both parents work. Not only do they work long hours just to scrape by. They hardly have any time to spend on their children, helping them with school, let alone any resources to contribute to the school. The authors Brooks, Dunn, Duncan, and Meritato have defined the investment in children as human capital investment. This means the family invests in education, health, and well-being. Families that live below the poverty line have no ability to contribute human capital investments. They work so hard in such long hours, all they're doing is surviving. They have no extra money to contribute to their children's further education. There's no opportunity for anything beyond public school, and in the future there will be no opportunity for higher education. Because the parents lack resources and are only getting by, they cannot contribute to the institutions needed to perform well in school. The parents are struggling and have no time to spend with their children doing homework. This culminates in a lower capability for the children to perform well in school. Statistics show that children from upper and middle classes have performed much better on aptitude tests and general assessments of education. Due to lack of parental involvement, this is not the case with children that live in lower poverty levels. In 2011, Kiernan and Mensah related parental involvement to the level of school achievement. Children from affluent families with high parental involvement show very high scores in levels of achievement. Conversely, children living in poverty with low levels of parental involvement scored very low in school. As you can see on this graph here, children with no history of poverty tend to score the highest in school, scoring at 60. Children living in persistent poverty are scoring as low as 25, the lowest level of any. On the same graph, you see family resources. The amount that a family is able to contribute, shown here, affects how a child is able to perform in school. The highest performance shown with families that are able to contribute the most. Looking at these statistics, one can see the connection between poverty and the level of education that a child can achieve. The less a parent is involved, the less ability the child has to achieve in school. There's a very real connection between class and education. I have shown you that because of a lack of money, there's a lack of parental involvement in a child's education. This leads to a lack of their ability to perform to the standards that we would all expect from children in school. Now imagine again going to school. I know that my experience would have been much more difficult had I grown up in poverty. You know, it may have been difficult what I went through. It may have shaped me, but it was nothing like what these people have to go through. As students, I don't think we ever really look at our peers and think about what they're going through with their family lives. So it's important to understand these connections and know that other people need our help. And by taking the burden off parents, hopefully we can improve the education of children living in poverty.